East meets West as Loudoun United takes the trip out to California to take on the Oakland Roots here in a cross-conference matchup in USL Championship tonight at Laney Stadium in Oakland, California. Alongside Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Joe Malfa. Glad to have you with us tonight on ESPN+. We take a look at the standings in the East and the West. Right now, both teams in that bottom chunk. Loudoun hoping with a win to crack the top 7 tonight.
And it's a really good opportunity for Coach Martin and company to come into Oakland, team that's searching for the first 3 points and grabs a couple points. You know they're going to be full of confidence. They started off strong, hit a little bump in the road, but now it's time to right the ship right now.
On the other side, Oakland Roots are much better than their record indicates. They're not in the top 7 at the moment. They are still looking for their first win of the season, but they're coming off in this stage of the season a draw against New Mexico, Tampa Bay, and San Diego, 3 of the top teams in the league.
And they have to feel good with that result. Obviously, 3 draws against very good opposition. Look for this time to get those 3 points in a really good match against this Loudoun side.
And their draw came in dramatic fashion on a Wednesday night against San Diego Loyal.
And you see it's an unbelievable overhead kick here from Grant Stoneman. You think San Diego's going to walk away with 3 points, but then the striker, Carlson, has other ideas. It's a peach of a ball in from Emer Clementa, and then just a snap header to tie this game up and give Oakland Roots a 1 point.
Otar Carlson gets his 3rd goal of the season. That leads the way right now for the Roots. So he is tonight's player to watch because everything so far revolving around him in the attack.
And he does so much for this Roots side. Yes, he has 3 goals on the year, but it's the actions that do not show up on the stat sheet that has Coach Garrett just raving about his play. The hold-up play, the running into channels. So much success of the Roots is through his work rate. We've seen the terrific header last game. Look for him to grow in the confidence.
Now, on the Loudoun side, they started the season really strong. In the first couple of games, they weren't conceding goals. They were scoring a few. They had 2 wins and a draw. Since then, last 2 games, granted it was a step up in competition against Pittsburgh and Louisville, but results have been different.
And they're coming along here, obviously, talking to Coach Martin. He just said, hey, we played against really good opposition. Obviously, coming into Oakland, it's a cross-country trip, but they're full of confidence. He has a good squad, and he was just so upbeat and so proud of his squad, how they started this season.
And now Tyler Freeman will hope to get them back on track. Ryan Martin has coached a lot of talented players in his career. He said Tyler Freeman is the most talented.
And it's unbelievable bold words, but he means it. Obviously, look for him to grow in the confidence. There's a reason why Coach Martin said he is the most talented. Just unbelievable talent. Obviously, 1v1s, can score a couple goals, 2 goals on the year. So if Loudoun has an opportunity to walk away with points, he's going to have a big impact in that.
And we'll see if Loudoun can get back on track or if it's the Roots who get their first victory of the season. This should be a fun one. Last couple of years here in USL, we didn't see cross-country matchups like this all that often. The fans are ready for it. We're ready for it. And we'll get you right to it momentarily here on ESPN+. It's Oakland and Loudoun.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together.
1, 2, 3, party!
That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, improved physical and mental health through coaching clinics and mental health panels, and spoke out for social justice. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandrootssc.com/anthem.
I'm really excited to be a part of EBCE because of all the opportunities it'll offer me to save money.
I was surprised to find out that I could actually have a choice about where my energy comes from.
Thanks to EBCE, our kids are going to have a clean planet to live on when they're older.
I need the power to work in my studio. Of course, I'd love to be able to use more renewable energy.
We now have choices, and I'm happy to choose East Bay Community Energy as my source for local clean power.
Oakland first, always. But what does that mean? That means giving the town everything so that the town can give it back. It's a family affair out here, and it's all eyes on we. See you soon, family.
Take a look at the starting lineups now for both clubs, beginning with Oakland. They're brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. 2 changes in there for Oakland.
And it is Nane and Mefeka coming in. Really important that Hernandez and Nane, the relationship between those two, they're going to have to be the pivot to connect the back from front. Rito Ascagar on the outside giving service to Carlson.
And then on the other side for Loudoun United, Ryan Martin gets a lot of his guys. No DC United first teamers, all the Loudoun true players here today.
And he was really excited about that. You didn't have a lot of first team guys coming, messing with the chemistry, but it's all about Gadir and Green on this right-hand side and the left-hand side, just the motors that they have, the quality that they have. And obviously we see Freeman, the guy that he said is the most talented player he's played with. Look for a big game from number 11.
Ready to get this one going here at Laney. Lorenzo Hernandez, the referee tonight. Oakland in their all black. And Loudoun on the road, looking to get things going from left to right in their all reds. Emra Clementa back in there with the captain's armband for the Roots. As they've switched to this 3-back set that they've been operating out of, Clementa went to the bench, but with the red card to Tariq Murad, he comes right back in. And the leadership that is left by Matias Vasore, who's out injured, it's replenished by Joseph Nane coming in. So plenty of strong options off the bench for the Roots to deal with a red card, deal with some injuries, and look to keep up that same intensity, hoping for their first win of the season. Is tonight the night for Oakland, or will Loudoun get back to their winning ways after a strong start to the season was followed by losses against Loudoun and Pittsburgh? Here we go. Loudoun from left to right, Oakland from right to left. East versus West here in USL Championship.
Close it, squeeze it! Squeeze it!
Kickoff tonight presented by User Testing, real-time feedback from real customers wherever you work. Visit usertesting.com to learn more. Benny Diaz will be battling the sun here in this first half. So losses for Loudoun against Louisville and Pittsburgh in their last 2 games, both by 2-0 score lines. And Ryan Martin felt that this team responded very well mentally to that adversity. Overall, it's still a young team, but a couple more veterans mixed in there this year as opposed to last year. They had a really strong chat, he said. He called it one of the best chats with a team he had in his career this past Tuesday after that loss came against Louisville. And they talked about some of the issues for this team and understanding each other better as people rather than just as soccer players, and building that unity. And that will go a long way in helping them face this adversity after a couple of losses in a row. When Mayor, his pass intercepted as he was looking for Rito down that right side. Juan Guerra very pleased with the fight out of his Oakland squad. Twice now this year they've shown it. 2 of the last 3 games on the road against New Mexico. They scored 90th minute to tie 2-2. And then another draw 2-2 against San Diego, scoring in the 94th minute. No quit in this team, and they believe the best is ahead. Mefeka, it's deflected.
And it's a really good passage of play from this Oakland Roots side. Player Juan Mayore able to ping this ball across the field, and you can just see what Mefeka brings. Just vertical running, craftiness, skillfulness on the ball. He's going to have a big game tonight, Mefeka.
Clementa had the assist on the Carlson game-tying goal. Not the usual suspect there. He pinched up into some space when they had to commit everything forward. Delivered a terrific ball in. Here's Asokar on the ground, through deflected. Back to Asokar, and now cleared away. Andrew Husso with the clearance, and now Kamarni Smith deflects it out for a corner kick. And this corner is powered by East Bay Community Energy. East Bay Community Energy provides green power at low rates. Visit ebce.org to find out more.
and the relationship between Asokar and Minifek on this left-hand side is going to be so pivotal, so important for this Root success. When one pinch is in.
Dennis from the corner. He'll do it again.
Like I was saying, when one pitch is in, one needs to give the width to the team. And obviously, you're a player like Dennis, any dead ball opportunity is a chance to put this ball on target and ask a lot of questions of Zamudio.
Whistle before Dennis can get the service on. Dennis again serves it. Out for Mafeka on the right foot. Shouts of handball waved off. Hernandez had a good view of it. He was right there, very emphatically waved it off right away. Those deliveries, though, from Dennis, not what we're used to seeing from him. Each of those corners dealt with very easily. Even the one that didn't count because the referee blew the whistle was well over every intended target. With that, we take a look at tonight's injury report brought to you by UCSF Health and UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital. A couple of guys out for Oakland. Well, the question about Fasore was answered. Not in the starting 11 tonight. And then Simonson and Lillard, the two out for Loudoun. The first goal that Oakland gave up against San Diego came after they struggled to play the ball out of the back, was given away to Colin Martin. They have to clean that up tonight. Asokar up to Dennis. Well defended by Rio Hopegund.
And Loudoun is finding it extremely hard to play out of the back. Whether it's Husu, Gamble, when you have Hopegund, Bumsteeg, Downs on that back with the ball, you need to show an angle. It's been time and time, 6 minutes in, that you haven't really had connected passes, more than 2 passes just connected. But give credit to the Roots. Once they turn it over, they're hunting down the ball in numbers, making it hard.
Dennis flares it out wide to the right side for Rito on the ground, almost to Carlson.
And a lot of what the Oakland Roots do is just through the outside backs of Rito and Asokar. Have the motors to get up and down, the quality to put dangerous balls in.
Asokar in the corner. He scored the first goal for Oakland the other night. Good delivery here toward Carlson. Almost Wednesday's goal scorers combining for the opener here. Rito keeps it in. Back for Dennis. To Carlson. Try to get it to him as often as they can. Why not with 3 goals already this season?
And talking to Coach Martin, he said a lot of what Oakland does very well is just putting dangerous balls in, whether it's to the outside backs. We've seen this time and time again. It's going to take a really good opportunity, really good performance from this back 3, back 5 of Loudoun. When Gadiri and Green drop down.
Bongera still not giving anything a must-win label this early in the season. Continues to repeat the mantra that the next game is the most important game of the season. He said he'll say the same thing before El Paso and every game thereafter, especially with this start right now. 3 losses, 3 draws, looking to get back on the winning track. And that's a good mentality to have if you're the coach. He's placed the emphasis on the performances. He believes that they've been unlucky and that if they were to keep performing the way they're performing, they will win a lot more games down the stretch than they will lose or tie. A couple of things here or there haven't gone their way in games this season. The Tampa Bay game sticks out. Said they played him off the field here at Laney, and a lot of people would agree. Even in chatting with Landon Donovan ahead of the San Diego-Oakland game Wednesday, he echoed the same sentiment. He said that this Oakland side probably deserved 3 points against Tampa Bay. So right now, Juan Guerra focused on repeating those performances, keep it that way, and those 3 points will come game in, game out.
And he really does believe that, and obviously talking to him, saying that he's had meetings with players, that everyone's bought into the philosophy, the way they want to play. And like you had a good conversation with him, Joe, saying that some players were like, look, this is the style we've been wanting to play for our whole career, especially when we came over to the U.S. You can see they want to play through lines. They're really possessive-orientated, and it's a really good Oakland squad. Obviously, Coach Martin has a lot of respect for them, talking with him as well.
Brian Martin said that they cannot be caught asleep at the wheel just because this team is 0-3-3. Said it would not surprise him to see Oakland in the playoffs when all is said and done this season. That type of talent and depth on this team, once they start getting things clicking in Juan Guerra's system. 3 of the top teams in the league right now are San Diego, New Mexico, and Tampa Bay. And those are the 3 straight teams that Oakland has tied against. Here's Freeman. First time we're seeing him on the ball. He's only come off the bench so far this season. Tyler Freeman, just a product of getting used to the way this squad plays, and also a couple of players coming in from DC United who needed minutes, like a Ted Kudipietro, like a Moses Nyman, just ahead of him in the pecking order when that comes to pass. That's just how it is, nature of being an MLS second side. But the opportunity there tonight, Ryan Martin believes he has terrific potential. As we alluded to earlier, genuinely believes that Freeman is the most talented player he's ever coached, and that includes a Kevin Paredes, a Moses Nyman, who have been sent up to MLS and beyond. So a lot on the shoulders of Tyler Freeman, who comes over from Sporting Kansas City too. Kamani Smith there on the right side, another player that Ryan Martin spoke highly of, believes he's made significant progress from last year to this year, getting into the right places, understanding his role in the attack, just a matter of actually getting back on the score sheet to have the confidence sync up with where his play is right now.
It's a good opportunity here for Smith and Freeman to really express themselves, playing at supporting roles for Liotti, the front 3. They need to get on the ball active. They need to be confident. Just about having fun, really taking the opportunity and run with it. You have a great opportunity here. This Oakland side is looking for the first 3 points. So you know they're going to be motivated.
The pressure forces a turnover. Nane to Asokar. Options in the middle. Asokar keeps. A little bit too selfish there, Asokar.
And it's a good opportunity for this root side, but just doesn't come off the way they wanted. You can see Dennis on the top of your screen. He was wide open. Nane decided not to play to him. Played Asokar, and then it's just caught in between 2 minds. Does he play the ongoing run up from Mefeka? Does he cut in? Then it's an opportunity wasted for Coach Guerra's side. But when you have those turnovers in your defensive halves, it's going to be a really hard day at the office for Loudoun United. So if you're Coach Martin, you want your 2 center midfield, whether it's Gamble, Husu, to get on the ball, really dictate tempo, take the sting out of the game, and get confidence within your team.
Handball called against Gadiri here. Sammy Gadiri, one of those second chance players, as Ryan Martin calls it, who was on an MLS side either last year or the year before. He was with Inter Miami, made a couple of appearances in MLS. Now looking for another opportunity elsewhere. Brings experience, brings talent to a team that lacked the experience in years past here, Loudoun. Hernandez. Fuenmayor. Rito has his legs chopped out from underneath. Lorenzo Hernandez does not blow the whistle. He's been lenient so far through nearly 15 minutes. And the attack on here led by Gadiri. Up to Liati. Save made by Diaz. And knocked out for a corner kick.
You can see how explosive this Loudoun side is. Just so vertical in their movement. It's a good run, good understanding between Freeman and Liati. But give credits to Diaz. He comes out big, closes down any angle. But if you're Oakland Roots, you have to be aware of the movement of number 18.
Corner driven in. Carlson takes no chances. Heads it back out. Actually, he's going to be bailed out by the assistant referee. The assistant referee on the near side of the field said that one curled back in. That left-footed corner. Here's Smith. Andrew Husso over the top looking for Green. Smith cleans it up. Thought about having a go from there. Lays it off instead to Gamble. Cutting here for a shot that's pulled wide. Mickey Downs, rather Tyler Freeman, thought he had some space, wanted to take that chance. And why not? I mean, he is the player who has most recently scored for Loudoun. They haven't scored in 2 straight games against Louisville and Pittsburgh. He scored 2 against New York Red Bulls too. Earns his first start now tonight.
But it's good signs for Loudoun and Coach Martin's side to get that man going. He plays assist maker the first one. Second one, he has the courage to pull up, take a man on.
Good ball over the top to Rito. Dennis makes that trailing run top of the box. Rito keeps instead. Here's Hernandez. Asokar was caught behind Jacob Green. Now Danny Barbier. All the way across to Rito. Very patient Rito. And well defended by Gadiri. It's out for a goal kick.
And it's really good defending there from Gadiri not to fall for the dancing on the ball from Rito, the fakes. And he elects not to leave his feet. Really patient. And he wins a goal kick for his squad.
Another ball won in the midfield by Oakland, but one right back by Freeman. Deflects to Liati. The ball still bouncing to Freeman. I lost count of all the deflections that one took along the way.
But again, it's warning signs just how explosive, how direct Freeman, Liati, Smith are, the front three of this Loudoun squad. So if you're Oakland, when you have the ball, you have to be very defensive oriented as well. So look for Clementa, Barbier, Fonmayor to be those organizers.
Back to Zamudio. Hope gunned over the top. Good ball in the path of Liati. And Clementa over to sweep it away. Azad Liati came over from USL League One. South Georgia Tormenta. He was a standout. Some interesting results from around the league already today. Memphis on the road ended Colorado Springs' perfect start to the season. early stages. Sacramento on the road, up 1-0 over Orange County as Mafeka draws the foul. And a fast start in San Diego, where the Loyal are tied 1-1, 15 minutes in against Louisville City. Both of the most recent opponents of both of these teams. Oakland last faced San Diego. Loudoun coming off the game against Louisville. Earlier tonight, a big win for a Western Conference team as Las Vegas Lights at home took down Pittsburgh Riverhounds 1-0. A handful of East versus West games this week, and that one probably the most surprising result. Vegas, we know what they were last year, but this year a much stronger side. They host the top-ranked team in the Eastern Conference through a few weeks, and they beat them tonight. Here's Nane. Hernandez to Dennis. Brito couldn't get a hold of it. Jose Hernandez is receiving all of the praise from Juan Guerra. Loves everything he's been able to do in the middle of that midfield so far this season for Oakland.
Such a skillful player he is with the ball at his feet, so slippery. Dictate tempo. Loves to play in those half spaces. He is really a security blanket. Garrett doesn't have enough good things to say about Jose.
Here's Freeman finding a way through. Shot blocked by Clementa. Nice slot pass by Gamble. Loudoun was hoping for a penalty there. That's twice now that Lorenzo Hernandez has had to make that decision, once on each end. At the other end, it was for a near handball. 20 minutes into this one from Laney here in Oakland, California with Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Joe Malfa. Glad to have you with us on ESPN+. Loudoun looking to get back on track after opening the season perfect through 3 games. 2 straight losses since then. Oakland, 3 draws, 3 losses to start. Here's Liotti. Shot blocked by Barbier. Out for a corner kick.
And it's a really good passage of play from Loudoun United. A little combination in that final third. Slips in Liotti. You can see they're just appealing for that PK call. Just moments prior. They're starting to come alive, Coach Martin's side. Putting this Oakland Roots side on uncomfortable positions, making them on their heels. And for Oakland Roots, you need to be extremely careful not to give up a goal 25 minutes into this game.
Set right back where it came from, except this time it's out for a throw. Otar Magnus Carlson doing some of the defensive work. One of the keys to the game tonight, that Ryan Martin said, was to get Sammy Gadiri and Jacob Green involved a lot more. So much of their attack is predicated on getting the ball out wide to those two for the service, opening up the space inside for Liotti and Freeman to work into. So far, so good through 20 minutes. We've seen a lot of Green and Gadiri on the ball.
And Gadiri's been probably the more active of the two. He shifts over to this right-hand side too. Just a player that loves to combine in and around that penalty area. Has a good left foot on him. Can put in dangerous service in. And his relationship between Freeman and Smith, whoever plays in front of him, is going to be really important to the success of this Loudoun United side.
That one just played out by Andre Husso, the teammate down injured. Mikey Gamble just went down on his own. That's not something you ever want to see. It's one thing if there's contact or if it's maybe behind the plate. Husso was right next to Gamble. You could see that Gamble whispered something to Husso to kick it out. He did, and he went right down. See if we can see what might have happened in here. Gamble lunged in right there. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Kadiri. Gamble right there, puts his hand up to stop the play. And nothing, no contact. Something that might have happened earlier in the match. That was bugging him. Goes down, looks dejected, help to his feet.
Yeah, you never want to see a non-contact injury. Hopefully he's able to go again. You can see the frustration the number 10 has.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be subbed out. You could see Ryan Martin down on the touchline. He was giving out instructions for Landry Husso to drop in deeper until they could get the sub in. It was Matai Akimboni going through a very quick warm-up down there. And he's now being summoned over to put on that jersey. Tough to see for a bright young talent like Mikey Gamble. And this Loudoun side helps give them some experience. Drafted back in 2016 by New England Revolution. A couple of stints elsewhere around USL before finding his way to Loudoun. Again, one of those second chance guys that Ryan Martin speaks so highly of, that brings the experience and brings some of the composure into this Loudoun lineup. And as he goes out, it'll bring in a 15-year-old Matai Akimboni. So you have both ends of the spectrum here for Loudoun. Gamble, one of the elder statesmen at 28. Akimboni, that's 16, almost. He'll turn 16 a little bit later this year.
And what an opportunity it is for the youngster to get really good experience. First of all, you're away from home in a hostile environment. You're playing against a very good Oakland Roots team, so look for him to connect his first couple passes and get his confidence in. He's given the chance for a reason, so we know he can play. Just needs to take advantage of it.
Has to come right in and defend a set piece. Charlie Dennis on that wicked left foot. 25 minutes in on the ground. Carlson flicks it in front. What a play all around from the Roots. It's Emra Clementa who gets the last touch to it. Carlson flicked it on. Dennis served it up. And the Roots are up 1-0.
And it's a good ball, but it's a ball that's played lower on the ground, and it's just a dummy of Carlson that throws and freezes this Loudoun United side off. And it's an easy finish there from Emma Clementa, just to tap it in at the doorstep. But if you're Loudoun United, you need to be a little bit more organized in the defensive setup. You can't have a player just running in your 6-yard box unmatched. It's going to be a little bit frustration growing for Coach Martin to give up that goal in this 26th minute. But if you're Oakland Roots, you have to keep on this ride, keep the confidence going. See if you're able to get another one in the next 5-10 minutes.
Returning the favor from the other night. It was Clementa to Carlson for the game tire in the 94th. This one, Carlson to Clementa. After the free kick from Dennis. Flicked it on perfectly into the path of Clementa. And that is a $510 donation to California Interfaith Power and Light, brought to you by East Bay Community Energy. California Interfaith Power and Light works to mobilize people of faith and conscience to take bold and just action on climate change. But again, it's Otar Magnus Carlson showing up at the right moment for Oakland. 3 goals already. He'll get an assist there as he flicked that one into the path of Clementa.
And it's going to be really interesting to see how this Loudoun United team, how do they respond? You go down 1-0 within 30 minutes of the first half. You're away from home. You've hit up a little bump in the road, having hard results coming into this match. So it's now time for these leaders to come up to show Coach Martin that he's able to rely on you when you're able to deal with a little bit of adversity.
Carlson. Here's Dennis. One concern for Ryan Martin was how would Loudoun deal with the size of Oakland in the box, and how would they deal with all of the deliveries from out wide. That's how Oakland likes to get things going offensively. And for Ryan Martin, I guess his worst fear from the week comes to light. Ball from out wide, the big bodies all involved on it. Dennis to Carlson to Clementa. Mafeka couldn't get it by Rio Hope Gund. Huso very slow to get up for Loudoun. Already used one sub due to injury, but Huso carrying on.
And since Gamble's off the field, just puts so much more responsibility on number 19, Huso, to be that anchor in the midfield, to connect it back to front, to get Smith, Liotti, Freeman on the ball, put him in dangerous situations. Be that general in the midfield. So for 60 minutes left, plus in this match, Huso needs to get on the ball and have his team grow in confidence as he does as well.
Back for Diaz. This is what gave them trouble against San Diego. Fortunately for Diaz, deflected out for a goal kick. Anybody who woke up and watched some FA Cup this morning saw Zach Steffen do what he did against Liverpool, and maybe hold your breath whenever the goalkeeper does something like that, but Diaz bailed out on the deflection out for a goal kick. It was his giveaway against San Diego to Colin Martin. That led to the first goal of the match in the second half. Oakland Roots second kits have arrived. Both kits are now available. Pay homage to Oakland culture. Purchase yours by visiting shop.oaklandrootssc.com. Still just the one shot on target for Oakland, but they made it count. Beating Luis Zamudio after 3 straight clean sheets to begin the season. Loudoun once again concedes first half. In danger of losing a 3rd straight. Foul called against Rito as he takes down Freeman. Every time Freeman has gotten the ball at his feet, he has shown something positive in the attack tonight.
You can just see how creative, how skillful he is to take on 3 players. Full of confidence, able to cut in and get another dead ball opportunity for his squad. You fancy a left footer trying to flirt with that 6-yard box and put that ball in a dangerous area. Cause a bit of havoc.
Kadiri will serve it up. No trouble at all for Diaz. Looking to break quickly here. And that was blocked off his foot. And a yellow card issued to Azad Liotti. Can't do that. I started looking down the field, looking for the ball, wondering where it went. I turn around, it's back behind the play. That explains it.
Yeah, just sticks out his foot, Liotti there. Trying to end a counterattack for the Oakland Roots. Diaz has other ideas, trying to springboard, whether it's Dennis, Carlson, Mafeka down the field. And it is a yellow card every single day of the week for Liotti.
I mean, in hindsight, no different than a tactical foul. Probably the right thing, because if that punt was on target, Oakland had a 4-on-2 attack brewing. So as long as he is careful the rest of the game, of course, Liotti, a well worth taken yellow card. Liotti right back into the mix. This time he draws a foul.
And it's really good work. Unable to hold on the ball, but it's able to work back. Do the dirty side of the job, Liotti. That gives your team so much help. If you're that number 9 and that's first line of defense, to work both sides of the ball. Really good action there.
Mafeka caught a cleat to the midsection, and Nicky Downs will now pick up a yellow card. Nicky Downs last year played 30 games, one of the more experienced players in this lineup now, especially with Gamble out for the game.
And it's a ball that popped up, just showing too much of his cleat to the midsection of Loudoun Mafeka. And like you said, he needs to be extremely careful now. Playing on a yellow card, sitting in that middle of the field as Gamble's on the bench. It's going to take a really disciplined performance from Nicky Downs as the rest of this one goes.
Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of USL Championship. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, league's choice, player's choice. Minutes to go here in this first half. Probably the best start to a game we've seen from Oakland so far this season. They struggled against RGV, and then from there, poor performance against Monterrey. Looked okay, but conceded late against New Mexico. Memphis, they go down early in that game. Tampa Bay, good performance, but didn't actually get a goal in that one. And then against San Diego, again, scoreless at the half, and they conceded quickly into the second half. If this holds, this would be their first halftime lead of the season, Oakland.
And he just gets there before Barbier, but he's just trying to get that contact. Liotti, you can see what he's trying to do. Good referee in the end.
Azad Liotti. Ryan Martin thinks a breakthrough is coming for him as well. Similar to Kamarni Smith, where he's getting into the right positions, just the chances haven't really been there for him to put away. And again, with players cycling in from DC United, Liotti is the one who has been left without a seat at the table for a couple of the matches so far this season. We have Joseph Nane hobbling over to the sideline on one end. And then Loudoun Mafeka down behind the play on the other end. It's been a war of attrition here in this first half. Gamble already subbed out for Loudoun. Nane hobbling over to check on another teammate who's down. Well, maybe not being so nice to go check on him, except to go to the trainer and ask to be looked at himself. I thought he was doing a nice thing, but he had to go take care of himself as well. Mafeka comes into the starting lineup today for Dark Formella. And Juan Guerra is getting to a point now where he has a rotation of 13 guys he trusts as starters. The main two who also come in, especially in the attack or going further up the field. You might see Joseph Nane in the midfield, whether it's giving Matias Fasori a night off or Jose Hernandez a night off. And you might see that man, Loudoun Mafeka, come in for Dark Formella. Juan Guerra wants to get to a point where he feels they're 15 starters deep. They're not far off of that. You think of today, Clementa has to come in for Tarek Murad, who's got the red card. Mafeka in for Darek Formella. Nane in for an injured Matias Fesore. So that right there gets you up to 14.
You have Chuy Enriquez as well, who's played a big part. Had the assist at New Mexico. Skillful player as well.
They feel they have 2 goalkeepers that they absolutely trust. You can branch it out to 3 as well once Paul Blanchette gets healthy. Taylor Bailey was held in high regard coming into the season, began the year as a starter. They were very confident in his abilities. Then Benny Diaz comes in on loan. And it looks actually as if Oakland is preparing 2 changes here. Darek Formella is up and ready to come in, it appears, for Lindo Mafeka. And it also appears as if Chuy Enriquez is putting the shin guards on. This is just a tough first half. This is going to be the second and third substitution we see in the first 40 minutes due to injury. The first one on the Loudoun side. These next 2 here on the Oakland side. Formella in for Mafeka. Enriquez running out onto the field. Nobody else coming off at the moment. All substitutions are powered by East Bay Community Energy, providing green power at low rates. Visit ebce.org to find out more. They're still trying to sort through things down there on the sideline as play resumes. So Nane is still out there. He was the other player who was struggling in that stoppage. Formella's out there. Enriquez is out there. Hernandez tried to spring it through for Formella.
And you'll see Chuy Enriquez coming in for Dennis on that right-hand side. It's going to be really interesting to see the injury report, the diagnostic on Charlie Dennis, number 12.
Never really saw Dennis go down in any play. Smith plays it centrally. Formella comes in. Heavy challenge on Hope Gund.
And you can see Hope Gund, the argument that he has, and I think he does have a really strong argument. It is the same challenge that Nicky Downs picks up a yellow card on Formella, that high boot to the midsection of the player. He is pleading for a yellow card for Formella. The referee elects against it, but I'll tell you what, I think he does have an argument.
Well, we're talking about the depth of Oakland and how Juan Guerra feels he has more than just 11 starters. This is probably not how he wants to get them rotated in, but handy when you have that kind of depth to be able to bring in Chuy Enriquez and Darek Formella for Lindo Mafeka and Charlie Dennis. Now just the concern goes to those injured players, but a 3-on-2 developing here for Oakland. Enriquez just a bit too slow with it. Allowed those numbers to go by the wayside.
Those are really good opportunities for the Oakland Roots. Turned into a 3-on-2, 4-on-3. You need to be able to be effective and exploit those opportunities. You need that final pass, bit of quality, that run that's going to break the defense. It's another opportunity that goes to the wayside for this Oakland Roots side.
Downs over to Gadiri. toward Camardi Smith and grabbed easily by Benny Diaz. Elsewhere, Orange County has leveled things against Sacramento. Eric Cubo Torres with his first tally as a member of Orange County, and you could catch the reigning champs as they race their way to the Midwest to face a new-look Indy 11 as the USL on ESPN continues. Don't miss the Indy 11 take on Orange County SC Sunday, April 24th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes.
That's a picture-perfect opportunity to see what Jose Hernandez brings to this team. He's able to dribble out of pressure, pass out of pressure. When you have a deep-lying midfielder that's able to break lines in different ways, it's such a value to have, and those are the little things that Coach Garrett loves of the number 8, Hernandez.
Final minute here of this first half. Stoppage time could be sizable. As far as first half stoppage time goes, I feel like we never really see that number more than 2 or 3 in the first half of games, but with the injuries to Gamble and on the other side, Mafeka and Dennis, extended stoppages here in this first half. And there you have it, 5 minutes of stoppage time here in this first half. Formella threads it through to Asokar. Waited a bit too long for it, and Hope Gunn takes it the other way. Again, Hope Gunn slides through and deflects it into the path of Liati. They are very high on what Hope Gunn brings out of the back. He was the 19th overall pick in the 2021 draft by Orlando. Spent last season entirely with the MLS side, but never cracked the lineup. He was on the bench, dressed 18 times, never subbed in. Just a matter of opportunity not arising for Hope Gunn. They didn't pick up his option. Finds his way to Loudoun, and they are excited for what he can possibly do here in the DC United organization.
Two really good defensive positionings and have the aggressiveness to come in on this right back position.
Gadiri, ball left a little bit to be desired. Couldn't get it by the first defender. Out for a throw-in. Uso fizzed it on the ground. Back for Vom Steeg. Gadiri gets another ball into the box toward Camardi Smith, but Clemente gets it away. Stays in down the wing for Rito. Has numbers in the box. Eduardo Rito cuts it back to Formella. He was just caught off balance. Couldn't flip the hip around and get it goalward. These Roots fans are hoping for more here at the end of the first half. And Roots fans, the next home game is Saturday, April 30th at 7 p.m. here at Laney Field against Colorado Springs. Select number of tickets are available. Call 510-488-1144 or visit oaklandrootssc.com/tickets for more information. A lot earlier in the night, the Let's Go Oakland chants than they were on Wednesday. The way San Diego was playing that game, possessing the ball, keeping control, took the crowd out of it for a bit. Loudoun trying to do the same thing here. Liati lost it.
Just a little too long dancing on the ball, Liati there. When you're at the top of the box at this level, you have to be extremely decisive. It's a little combination, a little skill when you're dribbling. Snapshot at goal. Just caught between two minds, the striker was. But again, it comes with the play, the overlapping, the understanding of Freeman and Gadiri on that left-hand side.
Good first touch by Green. Over to Husso. Good ball from Husso. Trying to find Liati again. Now they're starting to get those services from out wide. That's what Ryan Martin wants to see out of this crew.
Well, it's been better ball circulation, moving the ball from left to right, opening the gaps of this Oakland Roots side. When you have those gaps, you need to exploit them quick, and then move the ball. The circulation needs to be quick in your decision making, your clean technique. First touch, second touch pass. They have the quality, just the mentality that this young group for Loudoun United has.
Maybe the last attack here of the first half. Closing seconds in the 5 minutes of stoppage time. Gadiri, defended well by Hernandez. Carlson pulls it back for Enriquez, and that'll do it for the first half. Oakland goes up 1-0 in the 26th minute on the goal from Emra Clementa. Just once he found the net last year, already equaling that tally early this season. An unlikely source, right place, right time on a set piece.
And it's a good half from Coach Guerra and company. You know they're going to be going for that second half to put this game to bed. But you have to be extremely careful they're not caught out of position for the verticality of this Loudoun United side. If you're Coach Martin, you need to get Freeman on the ball a little bit more. Liati's been awfully quiet. Smith needs to come alive in the second half. Look for a really attack-minded tactical shift from the Loudoun United side as they come out to the second half.
Plenty for this crowd to cheer about in that first half. On Wednesday night, it was scoreless at the break between Oakland and San Diego. But now for the first time this season, Oakland has a halftime lead. And on the Loudoun side, finding themselves in all too familiar territory after the last couple of games. Down again at the break for the third game in a row. Can they battle back and get back on track? Or will Oakland find its first victory of the season? Right now, it's Roots 1-0.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together.
1, 2, 3, party!
That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, improved physical and mental health through coaching clinics and mental health panels, and spoke out for social justice. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandrootssc.com/anthem.
So what if Jenny has a new car that plugs in like a vacuum? You have you. Yeah, you. You create your own karma. You, who endured this to save on rent. You, who upcycled your prom suit for your first job interview and still nailed it. You, who went the extra mile to earn extra cash. Now you have Credit Karma, the money app where your hard work can pay off with a new credit card, a new home, or even a new car. And wait till Jenny sees this. Whoa there. Create your own karma with Credit Karma.
I need to try it first.
It says Julie is waiting with my order. I'm just gonna go in.
We've got to work on the tracking. Oh, good luck.
Take the entire journey with your customer with user testing.
So, was the baguette fresh?
It was spicy.
And the ghost pepper rub?
Empty.
Keep ingredients separate? Here.
Get a taste of your customer's world with user testing.
Back here at the break between Oakland and Loudoun, where Oakland has a 1-0 lead. Halftime brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. Already saw some action this week around USL Championship, and we have some of those highlights to show you from the action that was. We start off with Detroit City and Birmingham Legion. This was the Friday night action on ESPN Deportes. So far this season, Detroit City has been off to a terrific start. Great home crowd there in Detroit, and they are living up to the billing at home, already making the most of their opportunity here in USL Championship. They're getting good goalkeeping. They're getting great fan support. And on the offensive end, Antoine Hopino has come over from Lou City FC and done a terrific job. Ricky, this is one of the cleanest goals you'll ever see. Goalkeeper, flick on, early ball in, back of the net. Doesn't get any easier than that.
And it's just a full team, full goal, the whole field. What a win that is for Detroit City. Obviously having a fortress at their home field.
Now on the other side here, RGV is a team that beat Oakland in the first game 1-0. Marcucci spills this one in goal, and then it's tapped in. RGV would go on to win this one by a 1-0 scoreline. And RGV right now, they started off the season quietly. They have 6 points through 6 matches. They're right underneath that playoff line in the Western Conference, and some big-time goalkeeping late to preserve the victory for RGV. So that all came on Friday night. So there's been plenty of action already this week, plenty of action already today. We'll take a look at some more of that as we take a look around USL Championship coming up after this short break here on the Anthem Halftime Show.
Taking the lead.
Great finish. Cue the smoke.
It's a goal for Orange County SC and their first of the season.
And that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship final.
Oakland first, always. But what does that mean? That means giving the town everything so that the town can give it back. It's a family affair out here, and it's all eyes on we. See you soon, family.
Welcome back into the Anthem Halftime Show as the sun continues to set in Oakland, California. A look at the downtown from the stadium. Oakland keeping the fans happy with a 1-0 lead at the break. But a broader look now around USL Championship with some news and notes. A big week coming up as round 3 of the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup will take place in the coming week. Big news in the Eastern Conference pertains a little bit more to Loudoun for the time being than it does to Oakland, but Solomon Asante back in the fold for Indy 11, and a player you really enjoy watching, Ricky. Danny Trejo, 6 goals already this season, player of the month in USL Championship.
So electric, so quick, such a clean finisher. Expect him to have a lot more awards coming his way this season. 6 goals so early in this 2022 USL Championship season, so look for more from Danny Trejo. I really enjoy watching him play.
And he had the goal today in Vegas's 1-0 win against Pittsburgh. One of the other East versus West games that we're seeing around the league today. Pittsburgh, That's a surprising loss on the road against Vegas, and shout out to Vegas for a performance like that. The other one that catches my eye, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, no longer perfect, Ricky.
Yeah, that is a really surprising, obviously. Haji Barry and company falling 1-2 against Memphis 901 FC, but I really like what Miami FC is doing, coming along, obviously going into Outland, getting those 3 points. Hartford Athletic coming at home, get another 3 points. Coach Pulis and company are coming along. They have a lot of talent in this Eastern Conference.
And that Colorado Springs Switchbacks team on the horizon for Oakland, and we'll play them a couple of weekends from now. Here's the upcoming schedule for the USL on ESPN. I'd ask you which one stands out. We all know which one stands out. It's Phoenix against Tampa Bay on May 15th on ESPN2.
Oh, what a game that's going to be. Maybe the best in the East, best in the West. Both teams going head-to-head. Obviously, don't overlook Orange County, New Mexico, your bottom left-hand corner. That's a lot of talent on that field as well. It's going to be a really exciting match there.
Fair enough. That one is the other one that definitely catches the eye. The reigning champions against New Mexico United, a big one in the Western Conference. And right now, Phoenix Rising up 1-0 on New Mexico. And then in the Orange County match against Sacramento Republic, they are tied 1-1 at the break. And it's still 1-0 Oakland here from Oakland. We're back in just a moment with highlights and stats from half number 1 as the Anthem halftime show continues.
So what if Jenny has a new car that plugs in like a vacuum? You have you. Yeah, you. You create your own karma. You, who endured this to save on rent. You, who upcycled your prom suit for your first job interview and still nailed it. You, who went the extra mile to earn extra cash. Now you have Credit Karma, the money app where your hard work can pay off with a new credit card, a new home, or even a new car. And wait till Jenny sees this. Whoa there. Create your own karma with Credit Karma.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together.
1, 2, 3, party!
That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, improved physical and mental health through coaching clinics and mental health panels, and spoke out for social justice. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandrootssc.com/anthem.
When we think about the benefits of East Bay Community Energy, we think about cleaner air, good jobs, lower costs.
Good morning, welcome everyone.
The Scott Haggerty Wind Energy Center gives us a tangible example of how clean energy can deliver local benefits.
There is something wonderful about being part of this historic moment.
We are delivering cleaner, greener, cheaper energy. It's an investment.
It's a really between Freeman and Liotti, the understanding of when that runner makes that run behind this Oakland Roots back line, but Diaz comes out and denies Liotti of the opening goal. It's a really good goalkeeping there from Diaz.
And then here's the goal. Dennis flicked on by Carlson, tapped in by Clementa.
And those are so hard when you have that runner to the near post. It really throws everyone off. And it's a ball you probably don't expect from Dennis. Expect him to whip in a ball head height. But hey, he won't ask any questions. Clementa's there to clean it up. And probably his easiest goal of his career, I would say, an easy tap in. Probably about 2 inches outside the line.
Doesn't get much easier than that. And again, just what a flick it was from Carlson to get it into the path of Clementa. This was maybe the best chance of the rest of the half for Oakland, which says a lot about the way the rest of the first half went. Not too many scoring opportunities after Oakland took the lead. Formella came in for an injured Mafeka. Enriquez came in for an injured Dennis. On the other side, you had an injured Mikey Gamble leave the field for Matai Akamboni. So a lot of by Puma tells just about the story. Not many shots on target for either side.
And there isn't really much fluidity in that game for passes, balls that gone out of bounds, a lot of fouls. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the coaches say to their teams coming out of the second half and how they're going to perform. Maybe going to be a little tactical changes. I don't. A little bit more questions. It's been far too easy for Barbier, Clementa, and Fuenmayor of the Oakland Roots in their back line. Freeman has come alive a little bit. You need to, and if you're Oakland Roots, you need to get Jose Hernandez in those half pockets. Feed the ball to Carlson. Feed the ball to Chuy Enriquez. Formella, we know what he's about. So get those front three up and going and try to get that second goal as early as possible.
Players sneaking back out onto the field. Here's a look at the upcoming slate of games for Oakland. Well, we have a moment. That's a tough one on the road against El Paso, the site of their big playoff upset from last year, before they come back home against Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Look, the way it is in 2022, there are no easy outs. You can count on Vegas being an easy out last year. By no means is that the case this year. They are one of the toughest teams, especially when they're at home. This is a very tough stretch coming up for Oakland. On the other side, Loudoun doesn't really get much easier for them either. Birmingham, El Paso, and then at Hartford and Detroit in back-to-back games before home against Memphis. So every single game a difficult one. There's really only one team on the schedule for anybody this year who you can look at and say, all right, that should be 3 points, and that's Red Bulls. But outside of that, every game a battle.
And it is a really good battle. Obviously, Loudoun United started off extremely well, had a really good competition as of late. We'll see what they can do now. It's going to be really interesting to see what both of these teams have to say, what they have to show 2-3 months into the season. And it's like you said, Joe, this league is just so competitive now. Looking a year back, it's just grown so much. And the level has gotten so much higher.
And here we go in half number 2. Oakland in the black from left to right, and Loudoun from right to left in the red. Remember, 2 subs made by Oakland, 1 sub made by Loudoun because of injuries in that first half. And to that point about the league improving, Juan Guerra touched on that this week in our chat. Said if you start going team by team, you can't find a team that got worse this offseason. Even El Paso, they've gotten off to a slower start than what we saw, but they're improved on paper, and they're going to find their stride. It's just a matter of when. So every team just improved, a testament to the talent that is pouring into this league, and not just pouring in from free agent signings, but pouring in because teams fostering their academies and that growth. Here's a chance through for Formella, chips it over everything.
But that's what Formella brings, coming off this left-hand side. Likes to cut in on his right foot. It's a really good combination between him and Enriquez. Just that touch right there, closes the angle, and he just puts it over the bar there, Formella. But you need to get him going. He's just such a special player, so creative, so confident. And once he gets on the score sheet, it's going to be a lot of trouble for the rest of this Western Conference.
Formella has a place in the history of the Sacramento-Oakland rivalry. He scored the first ever goal in the NorCal Derby when he scored from a free kick last year. Now Oakland fans hoping once that derby rolls around again this year, he produces a memory on the Oakland side of it. 99th league appearance for Chuy Enriquez tonight. Milestone on the horizon for him. Carlson. Don't often see Carlson drop that deep with the ball at his feet. The target man for this team, and does so well in that role.
I know what I was just about to say about his play that I really enjoy watching is that he's able to do both.
This one floats all the way through for Freeman, cuts it back. Gadiri caught wrong-footed on his weaker right foot, off balance.
And it's a really good play here from Loudoun United. It starts with Green, and it's a tough ball across from Freeman. Just puts that wrong foot on his right, probably not his most favorite foot. Gadiri just hits it in for a nice field goal, but it's really good for Loudoun United. You need to get more of that. When you have the quality of Green, Gadiri on either side of the field, you need to stretch this Oakland Roots back line, make them a little bit confused, pull players out of positions. That's when you're going to have the most success if you're Coach Martin.
Don't try to sneak a field goal through. I know Loudoun has struggled to score over the last couple of games, but can't start handing out points for anything now. But they're getting closer, and every time they've gotten close in this one, it's come through Freeman. I mean, you see it right there. He's off balance, and with the outside of his right foot, puts it into the path of Gadiri. I don't know that we've seen a negative play from Freeman so far through 49 minutes. It's easy to see why Ryan Martin raves about him.
And on the phone call, when he said he is the most talented player that he has coached, maybe raised an eyebrow. I was like, that is a very bold statement, but he was behind it 100%. He really believed in his play, and you can see for even just the quality he has 1v1, having that finishing touch, whether it's a pass, whether it's a goal, taking players on. He's full of confidence, the number 11, the winger here. And there's a reason why this organization is just so high on him. But going back to that point of Carlson, he's able to play with his back to goal. Has a really clean first touch, which elects to bring people in, can also make those runs in behind. He's a relentless worker. The Oakland Roots striker. And when you have a player that is able to do both, it really keeps question marks over your head for a back line. Von Steen, Hope Gunn.
Ormella gets it wide for Asokar. Early in the second half, Louisville City on the road against San Diego, now up 2-1. LA Galaxy 2 now up 1-0 on Monterey Bay. Phoenix still up 1-0 on New Mexico, and Orange County and Sacramento still tied at 1 goal apiece. Maybe part of the reason you've had no panic from Juan Guerra despite this slow start is because the way the rest of the Western Conference has taken shape in the early stages of the season, there's not much separation near that playoff spot in the 6, 7, 8 slots here. If all current results hold for the evening, Oakland would just find themselves 2 points out of 7th place New Mexico. So everything's still very tight. You could tell why there was no panic. And we know what Oakland did last year after a slow start through 13 games, battling all the way through and making the playoffs. Here's Hernandez taken down, and that's an easy call for a penalty. Lorenzo Hernandez didn't have to think much about that one. He had 2 close calls in the first half, one for Loudoun, one for Oakland. This one points directly to the spot, chance for Oakland to go up 2-0.
And it's so good from Jose Hernandez. Just to step up, pick the pocket of Husu. And I'll tell you what, Husu does get the ball, but he comes in from the behind of Jose Hernandez. It is a PK in the end as a ref. Alexi point to the spot. But if Jose Hernandez is just not aware, and he's not on the front foot, his play does not happen. He does both sides of the ball extremely well in this system that Guerra has implemented of the Roots organization. And there is a reason why he's so high on him. You can see the disbelief of Husu.
Carlson now with a chance to score his 4th of the season. He's already scored a penalty. He went down the middle on the ground. That was his first goal for the Oakland Roots. And the assist on the first goal, deflected it through for Emra Clementa. Now looking to get one of his own and give Oakland a 2-goal lead, get them that much closer to their first victory of the season. Luis Zamudio will try and keep it away. Otar Carlson tucks it in calmly once again. His 4th of the season, 2nd from the penalty spot, and Oakland is out to a 2-0 lead.
And he was never going to miss, was he, Carlson? The way he steps up to this ball is just full of confidence. He knows what he's doing. He sends the keeper the wrong way, tucks it to that left-hand side. You can see it's all smiles for the striker. Just that little hop right there that throws Zamudio off. Sends it the wrong way, slots it to his left foot, left side. And it's a really good, comfortable 2-0 lead for the Oakland Roots as they start the second half.
Goes over to thank Hernandez for drawing the penalty. And that is another $510 donation to California Interfaith Power and Light, brought to you by East Bay Community Energy. Interfaith Power and Light work to mobilize people of faith and conscience to take bold and just action on climate change. Look at the speed from Rito as he tries to close in there and apply the pressure. Gadiri wins it back. Hernandez in the midfield, always around the ball, and that's what Juan Guerra talks about. Hernandez not making any flashy plays, no goals on the season. Don't believe he's got an assist yet officially, but he's always around the ball. Defensively, he's slowing things down. Offensively, he's that conduit between the back line and the front line. Just does so much in this role for this team. Just little plays like that, knocking it around, helping get the ball into the space on the left side. And now that's where they attack through Formella. Bit overeager, commits the foul.
And again, time and time again, Hope Gunn has been extremely good in his defensive positioning. As he gets the better there of Formella. You see a lot of times players leave their feet, draw a foul, in an unnecessary action. But Hope Gunn is extremely smart in the way that he defends, doesn't put a foot in, and he wins another free kick for his squad.
They only breed the finest defenders at Georgetown, right, Ricky?
Oh, no.
That Creighton-Georgetown Big East rivalry will never leave you.
Don't remind me.
But Hope Gunn to stand out at Georgetown. Now getting back to the D.C. area with Loudoun and hopefully D.C. United. Nane wins it clean. Now Gadiri. Hernandez again gets in the way of it, deflects it, but it bounced right back to Gadiri. Flicked away by Clementa. Otherwise, Freeman might have been in clear. Now Enriquez on the break. Well done by Landry Husso to win it back for Loudoun. Switching the point of the attack to Jacob Green. Unable to bring it down initially. Now Freeman helps out. Sokar continues to run. Acres of space for Rito. Carlson calling for it in the box. Rito gets it there. Carlson not far off.
And it starts on this left-hand side with a great run from Masokar. And then Rito just picks his head up, sees Carlson just hanging around that penalty area. But again, it's Hope Gunn that closes down the angle, makes it extremely hard for Carlson to get a clean strike. But it's a really good play that Rito gets into that final 30, picks up his head, and finds a black jersey. You see time and time again when players get in those positions, they don't have the composure, they just hit a blind ball across, and it goes waste. Rito's picked his head up, he sees Formella that first time, now he sees Carlson. Gives your players a chance when you get in those final thirds of such good opportunities.
Dangerous ball back. That is not the first time we've seen that tonight or this season from Oakland. They want to play that way this year. That is part of the Juan Guerra style. Patient around the back, building through the back. It hasn't quite clicked yet. There are moments where it looks like they're comfortable playing around the back, and then there's moments like that where you hold your breath if you're fans of the team and you're in attendance.
And it's little things like that. If Clementa's going to play that ball to Diaz, he has to play that ball to his right foot. To take the angle away for Kermani Smith to make that run, and he likes to play to his left foot, and that gives Smith a chance. So if he just rolls that ball and bends it to his right foot, Diaz is able to hit that one time.
Now Diaz is a left-footed goalkeeper, but in a situation like that, you just get it away any way you can. Right foot, left foot, drop down and head it away if you have to. Just got to get that ball out.
And if you're not even sure to play it back, just clear it out for a throw in, whatever it may be. You do not want to take any chances to give this Loudoun side a bit of life.
Gadiri, I don't think he realized how much space he had if he would have just picked up his head and maybe taken a strike there, tried to scoop it over the top. But the back line backed off.
You can start to feel that Loudoun's getting alive a bit, getting players into the attacking third, little combinations. It's a really interesting sub there.
I don't think we expected to see Freeman, the name put up on the board. So Zumana Diarra ends Freeman's day. Probably the brightest player we've seen from Loudoun, not just tonight, but on the season. And Zumana Diarra showing some more of the youth of the side. He'll turn 19 in 2 weeks. Another teenager out there for Loudoun. They take one off to put one on. "60 minutes gone by, 30 to go. Here from Laney College, where Oakland now leads it 2-0. First half goal by Amber Clementa. Second half goal from the penalty spot by Otar Carlson. With Ricky Lopez Espen, I'm Joe Malfa. Glad you've been with us tonight on ESPN+. Loudoun was hoping to rebound from 2 straight 2-0 losses, and it's the same scoreline creeping up again here for Loudoun, while Oakland is looking for its first victory of the season. Dangerous spot for a set piece here for Sammy Gadiri. Charlie Dennis's free kick in the first half that led to the Oakland goal was nearly the same spot of the field. See if Loudoun can duplicate that success. It all starts with the service from Gadiri. And it will wait until Lorenzo Hernandez has gone through his chat with all the players in the box. Keeping an eye on Clementa and Smith. Gadiri and Carlson doing it all tonight. Assist, goal, back defensively to head that one away.
And you're taught when you're on the dead ball opportunity, a dead set piece, just kind of cut out that first man to give your team a chance. It's going to be disappointed with that service there, Gadiri. See if you can make it right now. I mean, right on top of that 6-yard box between that penalty area.
Header from Hope Gund. Misses the target. But again, good service from Gadiri. They haven't really gotten Kamani Smith involved as much as they'd like.
And it's a good run from Hope Gund. Starts on the second post. He's able to curve around. It's a whipped ball in from Gadiri. Finds the head of the right back. Just a little bit unlucky not to put that on target.
That last update, it was 2-1 Louisville. That game has taken a wild turn. Louisville made it 3-1. 2 minutes later, San Diego made it 3-2. 2 minutes after that, Louisville went down a man. So it's Louisville 3-2 winning with 30 minutes to go, but now down a man on the road against San Diego. Still 1-1 Orange County and Sacramento, and the other score lines also still the same. At halftime, Galaxy up 1-0 on Monterey Bay. Phoenix up 1-0 on New Mexico. Oakland again inviting that pressure as they play around the back, and again they give it away. Here's Gadiri. And just cleared to safety now by Clementa.
Didn't they be careful, the Oakland Roots back line? Not to have a sloppy turnover that results in a chance on goal. It's time and time again, they've given the ball rather cheaply. And the Loudoun side, yes, they may be young, but they do have a lot of talent and they can make you pay. So if you're Coach Gary, you want maybe the leadership of Clementa to put his foot on the ball, take the sting and the confidence out of this Loudoun side, and play the ball around the back, but be secure with it.
Diaz again under pressure. Played through here to Enriquez, and the flag does come up. Carlson, Hernandez, plays it along to Formella. Good breakout here for the Roots. Just missing that final ball as Azokar came through.
But how good is the relationship between Hernandez and Carlson? Just a little swivel of the hips there from Carlson. Finds the ongoing run of Hernandez, who brings out Formella, just breaks down in that final third. And again, it's just so good to see for Coach Guerra. Players that he's so high on to show that they're on the same page to break down this Loudoun United back line.
Fans getting a front row seat there to the chat between Barbier and the official. Whatever it was an interesting chat because those two there just stopped what they were doing, drinking, eating. They were locked in on that chat between Lorenzo Hernandez and Danny Barbier.
Eavesdropping.
Again, Oakland playing around the back. This time a little bit better than the last couple of times they've tried to. To Enriquez. Rito, a lot of space on the right side. They send it that way. Eduardo Rito. Forward to Enriquez at the end line. Back through to Rito. Clips it to the back post, and it's slotted to the far post and in. 3-0 Roots. For the second game in a row, it's Azokar on the score sheet.
And it's full of confidence, the Oakland Roots. It's a really good interchange play there from Enriquez and Rito. You can see it's a brilliant little clip ball to this back post. And again, Azokar doesn't have to hit it extremely hard, just needs to put it in the right place, and he does just that. Just so free at this back post. It's going to be a head scratcher for Coach Martin's side again. And he's never going to miss from there, is he? Azokar. It's 2 goals in 2 games for the left wing back of Coach Guerra.
And for the second game in a row on Azokar's goal, it's an assist from Eduardo Rito. So Juan Guerra, he made that switch ahead of the New Mexico game. He switched to a 3-back with those two running up and down the wings. Azokar left, Rito right. Since then, okay, they were shut out in the scoreless draw against Tampa Bay, but they come out and connect for a goal against San Diego. They come out and connect for a goal against Loudoun. So that change paying off for Juan Guerra. Exactly what he wants to see out of his 2 attacking-minded, very athletic wingbacks. Always eager to join the attack and making the most of it when they do. Rito again. Back for Enriquez. The breakout game that Oakland was looking for. Juan Guerra sensed it was coming. They played some top-notch competition the last couple of games against Tampa Bay, against San Diego, against New Mexico. In each of those, they hang in there, earn draws, twice in dramatic fashion against New Mexico and San Diego. Knew that breakthrough was coming. Didn't want his team to hang their heads about going winless through 6. 3 losses, 3 draws coming in. And barring something miraculous here, they will be on their way to their first victory of the season. So far, probably the most complete performance for the Roots in a game this season.
And I agree. It's been extremely solid from the back to the front. Barbier, Clementa, Fuenmayor, and really compact, not really giving this Loudoun United team any room to breathe. Any really clean looks at goal. And you have the midfield, Asokar, Hernandez, Nane, Rito. You have a goal and assist, a PK1. Nane's been extremely good as a security blanket, being that pivot in front of that back three. And then you go to the front line. Obviously, the two supporting players under Carlson has changed. When you bring Formello, Chuy Enriquez, and Carlson, been a really good performance throughout for Coach Guerra's side.
Yellow card for some time wasting to Benny Diaz. So in the live table, as Oakland tries to claw back toward that playoff line in the 7th spot, New Mexico would occupy it with 8 points, and Oakland would be knocking on the door with 6. So after a slow start, with just 3 draws and 3 losses in the first 6 matches, because of some other results elsewhere in the league, Oakland has already made up that ground, and now Juan Guerra can kick things into gear. Talked about how difficult it was at the start of the season for this Oakland team. So many players came into the fold late in training camp. At the early portion of the season in early March, they were still dealing with some COVID issues, some injury issues. A guy like Darek Formella came in a week before the season started. Benny Diaz on the ball now came in a week after the season started. So they're working through a lot of things as far as chemistry. And they found that group of guys now who are clicking out there. They found this system as well with the 3-back to maximize the talents all the way around after starting the season in a 4-3-3. The team rounding into form now.
And it was always going to take time. When you have those dramatic changes, a new head coach, moving into a new training facility, whatever it may be, good things take time when you have players coming in and out, like you said, not having the full preseason, coming in the middle preseason, days before preseason, whatever it may be. You need time to gel, to understand the tendencies of your teammates, how Coach Guerra wants to run his camp. And you can just start to see the fruition of this Oakland Roots team. And on the phone call this week, Coach Guerra said, look, we're on an ascending curve. There's a lot of high pressure. There's families, belief system in our organization. You're starting to see it now. You can see.
Here's Asokar, already 1 goal in the bag. Just draws the corner here.
And it's a good run from Asokar. So dynamic, so athletic on that left-hand side. Does extremely well to get to the byline. But again, it's really good defending there from Loudoun United to be in really good positioning, to not deny the Oakland Roots ball across.
Asokar whips it in. Clementa back out to Asokar. 2 of tonight's goal scorers. And Asokar commits the foul. Roots fans loving every bit of this one tonight. Don't miss any of the action during this 2022 Roots season. Secure your prorated membership today and receive exclusive benefits like early entry on game days and discounts on Roots merchandise. Call 510-488-1144 or visit oaklandrootssc.com/tickets for more information. After starting the season with 3 straight losses, this will be a 4th match unbeaten now for the Roots. Granted, 3 of them ties, and this one their first win. But that makes 4 in a row without a loss.
Just to see the growth of Jose Hernandez in the system of Coach Guerra, a player that I am very familiar with. Usually see him as that number 10 right behind that striker, but he's really flourished, sitting a little deeper, kind of dictating tempo. being that security, calmness, presence in the middle of the field. Really coming along. Jose Hernandez has.
Quarter of an hour remains here on ESPN Plus, and don't miss a minute of the action in 2022. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN Plus, the home of the USL, MLS, La Liga, Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Rito charges through, Eduardo Rito does it all himself. And it is 4-0 Oakland. His first goal in a Roots uniform to go with a pair of assists. Juan Guerra's wingback living up to the billing.
And he does it all. He picks a pocket of Sami Khediri, and then it's really poor defending here from Loudoun United, showing him to the inside. You never want to do that. But he makes no mistake about it. He's confident, Rito. See what it means. And just puts it through the legs of Zamudio. And to give this Oakland Roots a 4-0 lead. He's been such an addition to the Roots organization, working tirelessly on this right-hand side. Obviously, we see he had an assist, but now he gets his name on the score sheet. Well done, Rito.
That's another $510 donation from East Bay Community Energy to California Interfaith Power and Light. And now a slew of substitutions taking place for both of these teams. Johnny Rodriguez enters the match on the Oakland side, as does Max Ornstill. And then 3 players on the way out for Loudoun. Evening's over for Azad Liadi, Camarni Smith, and Landry Husso. Get you all those subs in a second. Abdul Zain comes in for Camarni Smith. Matthias Johannes comes in for Landry Husso. And then Abdelatif Abukora comes in for Azad Liadi. Khediri lost it to Hernandez. Wolfgang Prentice getting set to check in for the Oakland Roots. And that will be a team debut for Wolfgang Prentice. Joseph Nane will make way for Wolfgang Prentice. So clearly with this scoreline, both teams have come to terms with the way this game is going to go in the end, emptying the benches just a bit, making use of all those substitutions. A tough one to swallow for Loudoun. Ryan Martin felt tonight was a really good opportunity to get back on track. They knew Oakland would be a challenge, especially based on some of the mismatches that Oakland's able to create around the field based on how Loudoun plays. They thought they had a good game plan coming in. They thought they had a really good chat this week, bringing everybody together after 2 straight losses. And one of the things he touched on, a positive not having a lot of DC United players coming in. Yes, they bring talent, but they disrupt the cohesion a bit. So he felt the recipe was there to come on the road and earn a result. didn't play out that way. Giveaway from Diaz. Nearly another disaster at the back. That's the one thing Oakland still has to work on from this showing tonight.
And it might not seem like much, but there is a lot to play for if you're Loudoun United and these young players coming in. It's an opportunity to prove yourself, to show to Coach Martin, to show the DC United organization that you belong, that they're able to put their trust in you, that you're always going to come down, whether you're up 4-0, down 4-0, and you're going to push, you're going to show your character, you're never going to give up. It's a really good opportunity for these young players to really gain trust. Yes, you're down 4-0. It's not a perfect situation to come on, but when you step on the field, you are a professional. You have a job to do.
This one threaded through on the attack, trickling toward the goal line and put in by the substitute, Abdelatif Abukora. Clean sheet gone for the Roots. You can see what it means to Abukora.
And it's a really good individual goal there from Abukora, just dicing through this back line of the Oakland Roots. Good combination between him and Zane, the top of the box, and he just wants it more than this Oakland Roots back line. Coach Guerra's not going to be happy as a clean sheet is gone, but you love to see it. The youngster coming in, making an impact. You can see what it means to him.
That is a first professional goal for Abdelatif Abukora, just 17 years of age. Oakland trying to get it right back the other way. DC United Academy player on an academy contract, Abukora. That's part of the juggling act for Ryan Martin. Dealing with players coming up from the academy, coming down from DC United. They have their core of guys here with Loudoun. And when you score a goal like that coming in as a sub, Abukora making more of a bid to see more time. He does have 2 assists already this season in a handful of appearances.
And it's a really good learning curve for these young players of Loudoun. How do you fight to get back into a game when there's not much hope? To come into a professional environment away from home that's hostile against a really good Oakland Roots team.
LA Galaxy 2 made it 2-0 over Monterey Bay. San Diego was feeling like they needed to make the game a bit more fair against Louisville, so they picked up a red card of their own, now playing 10 aside. Louisville still up 3-2 in that one. Still 1-1 with a few minutes to go between Orange County and Sac Republic. Almost given away by Clementa. Pulled it underneath Gadiri. That red card from San Diego led to a penalty for Louisville, and Niall McCabe converted it, so now 4-2 Louisville in the closing moments of that one. Busy night of West Coast action in USL Championship. Every team now in the West has played at least 5 games, some 6, some 7, even San Diego up to 8. As you're looking through the Western Conference, Ricky, where do you think Oakland slots in?
You can answer that in 2 ways. Obviously, you see their record, right? It's not, haven't had a win maybe. Looks like they're going to get those first 3 points. But they have a lot of talent, and they're hitting their stride. I think at the right moment. You can see, like we've talked about earlier in this match, gone against Tampa, gone against San Diego, New Mexico. Those are hard places, hard teams to play against as well. to come out with 3 points. You ask any coach in this USL, they'll be happy with that. And obviously, they think they deserve more playing Tampa off the park, whether it may be, but I'll tell you what, I think this Oakland Roots team is going to have a lot to say in the playoffs. Once playoff time, I fully believe them to be above that line. Once playoff time comes, and they're not going to be an easy out for any of those big dogs in this Western Conference.
The same question goes then for Loudoun on the other side. They start the season unbeaten through 3. They lose 3 games in a row, but to be fair, Pittsburgh, one of the top teams in the East. Louisville will end the day as the first place team in the East. And then a West Coast trip to Oakland with only 16 players on the roster, not a full allotment of players for Loudoun. So take their 3 losses with a pinch of salt. Not bad losses in their own right against some really strong competition. Where do they fit in?
I think they're going to be very competitive in the Eastern Conference as well. I mean, realistically, I think they're flirting with that playoff line. They have a lot of talent. But again, as the year goes on, they're just going to get better. The young guys are going to have more experience. They're going to know how to deal with situations. They're going to get more confident. We've seen flashes of the confidence, the brilliant of the young players that this Loudoun DC organization has. I think if I'm Coach Martin, I'm looking around that playoff line, maybe as the goal at the end of this year.
Talk to him about that ahead of the Louisville match. He feels the playoffs are a realistic goal for this team. He said obviously that wasn't the case last year, and if you'd have asked him that same question at the beginning of last year, he would have been honest. He would have said, look, we're a developing team this year. We are young. We don't have a lot of experience. We are going to take our lumps. Not the case this year with all of those second chance guys they bring in. And when I say second chance again, I mean guys who were on MLS rosters recently and they're looking to get back to that level. A guy like Sammy Gadiri, a guy like Rio Hope Gunn, who clears it away here, who was on the bench 18 times last year for Orlando but never cracked the lineup. They have 5 or 6 of those guys where they can hang their hat on in addition to a bevy of young talent. So they think it's realistic this year. They started hot. They've cooled off, but still very early in the season, and they've lost these 3 games in a row against very tough competition. But the thing for Loudoun, the schedule remains tough in the next couple of games. Home against Birmingham Legion, home against El Paso. At least they get the next 2 at home before they go on the road to Hartford and Detroit City.
Just see how powerful Rito is. Like a train full force on this right-hand side, running through players, running over players. Will not take no for an answer, the number 72 Rito of this Oakland Roots back line.
Oakland from here goes on the road a week from tonight at El Paso. A rematch of last year's playoff game in which the Roots came through on the road, ending El Paso's home unbeaten streak. That was on the verge of becoming a North American record. And then Oakland comes back home. First showdown with Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, who were knocked off tonight at home by Memphis 901. Oakland will then take it on the road for 2 games at Orange County, who they played tough in every single game last year, including the playoff game that went to penalties. And then they go on the road to Las Vegas in the middle of May. Las Vegas looking like a very tough out this year. Danny Trejo, the player of the month, 6 goals already, including the winner today in the 1-0 victory for Vegas over Pittsburgh. So 3 of the next 4 on the road for Oakland. But the good thing for Juan Guerra that he spoke to us about, and he's very happy about the rhythm of the schedule coming up. Today is Saturday. Next week they play on Saturday. The week after that, and after that, and after that, and after that, they play on Saturday. It's 6 straight Saturdays for the Roots as Vamsteeg clears it away. So 6 straight weeks where you could keep the same routine of playing only on Saturday nights. That is the key here, as he can finally, with this new system that's already paying dividends, actually practice during the week. He said it's been game, recovery, film session, game. They haven't been able to actually get into training sessions. That changes now over the next month and a half.
And that's so important when you're a player, when you're a coach, to get in that rhythm. 90% of the battle of being a professional athlete is finding your rhythm, whether it's traveling, whether it's training, whether it's game matches. When you have 5 days of the week, when you're able to train, it's going to make your cohesiveness so much better, so much more comfortable. Things you're able to work on instead of just watching film. The recovery time is going to be tremendous for this Oakland Roots side. And obviously they've had a tough schedule going to Greenville in the Open Cup, going to Rio Grande Valley. But now, like you said, Joe, there's a lot less travel, a lot more time to recover for this Roots side. And if I'm Coach Gary, you know he's going to be extremely excited to see the growth of his team.
I'm glad you bring up the travel as well. Of course, the cross-country trip to Greenville as well in the Open Cup. Once they return from that trip to Cashman Field to take on Vegas on May 14th, they don't leave the state of California again until June 18th, over a full month. Their only road game in that span, they have 5 of 6 at home. Their only road game is that 1-hour drive to take on Monterey Bay. So after all the early season travel, they don't have to leave the state of California for a full month, which is huge for them. And forget leaving the state of California, they don't have to leave a 40-mile radius again with that one trip to Monterey Bay. California, a very big state last time I checked, so there could be some long road trips within that when they go to San Diego. That's a flight. So they have the game against Monterey Bay, and they get to stay in this general area for 6 straight weeks.
You got an A+ in geography.
I didn't get too many of those, but geography, always good with that.
No, but when you play at home, the goal is 3 points and nothing less. So it's a really big opportunity for this Oakland Roots to run up that score table, to get on top of the table. What a move this is turning out to be for Formella.
Sending it back toward Rodriguez. Instead, it's Chuy Enriquez. Back for Prentice, making his Roots debut. Wolfgang Prentice clips it across just over the head of Rodriguez. Final minute of action now, as the Roots are on the way to a victory. It will be their first of the season. One last batch of Let's Go Oakland chants ringing up from the crowd. And that will do it tonight from Laney. Oakland started the season with 3 straight losses, then 3 straight ties. They're finally in the win column with a 4-1 victory over Loudoun United.
Much wanted, much needed, much deserved 3 points for this Oakland Roots side. They were the better team. Over the course of 90 minutes, Loudoun had a little bit of a spark, but just too much class on this Oakland Roots side. They finished their chances. Really good performance from Coach Kara's side, for Coach Martin. There is a lot to work on. There's a lot to be proud of as well. The young guys, they fought till the end, 94+ minutes. They do have talent. And as the year goes on, they're going to keep on growing, get more confidence. And this Loudoun team is not going to be an easy out for no one.
Celebration continues in the stands and on the field. We're back in just a moment to wrap this one up from Laney, where the Roots take this one 4-1.
How hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together.
1, 2, 3, party!
That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, improved physical and mental health through coaching clinics and mental health panels, and spoke out for social justice. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandrootssc.com/anthem.
I need to try it first.
Back here at Laney, where Oakland took this one by a 4-1 scoreline. With Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Joe Malfa. We're thankful you were with us all night on ESPN+. Turned out to be what Oakland needed to get to their winning ways. They had 3 straight hard-fought draws, and they finally go through now and pick up a victory, their first of the season. And the man of the match tonight, presented by Ale Industries. The 2022 Town Beer Collab is now available in select stores and on tap at Ale Industries. It is Amara Clementa. He brings back the captain's armband tonight, back to the starting 11, and he starts off the scoring on the evening.
Good goal there from Clementa to start to get the game off. Obviously, it's an easy finish, but he was just a presence in that back line. Was really confident, breaking up plays, being a leader. He's wearing the captain's armband for a reason. Last week, he comes on as a sub, has the assist. Now he's opened his goal scoring. What a performance from there, Amber Clementa. Much deserved man of the match.
And we take a look now at the save of the game as well, brought to you by Credit Karma. There wasn't too much work to be done by Benny Diaz tonight, but this came just 2 minutes into the game. Had to make this stop, otherwise, all of a sudden, Loudoun on the front foot in this one.
If that goal goes by him, it's a completely different match, but it's a tremendous save. He just comes off his line so quick to close down any angle for the audience. A good save there from Diaz.
Take a look now at the full-time highlights in this one. I'm looking down at the sideline, actually. Emra Clementa is joking around with Charlie Dennis and with Otar Magnus Carlson. We've thought this whole time that Carlson got a touch here, and he was just saying, I didn't touch it. So this is an assist for Charlie Dennis here on the Clementa tap-in.
But whatever he does, it works, right? He lets the ball go through his legs. It's a little shift or whatever it is. It's a good goal there from Emra Clementa. You can see how much it means. But then this is just about Jose Hernandez being on the front foot, being active. Husu comes in from the back of him, and it is a PK. For the number 8 of Oakland Roots, just such a presence in that midfield. And then you know who's going to step up to it. Carlson, the goal scorer, does so well. Sends Zamudio the wrong way. Cool, calm, collected. Just rolls that ball into the left-hand corner. He was never going to miss, was he? Great goal there for number 22 to put up the Roots 2-0. And then this is just brilliant. Brilliant interplay between Rito, between Chuy Enriquez. You can see the movement right here of Rito. Just sees that gap. He just punches through it, and then it's a ball to this back post where Aslikar is just flirting around, just hanging out, unmatched, unmarked. It's an easy finish there. Doesn't get all of it, but he doesn't need to. Just puts it to the far corner. 3-0 Roots, and you think it's all dandies and sunshines here, but then Rito, hey, just puts the ball. Why don't I need a pass? Takes on a couple players, puts a challenge in, nutmegs the goalkeeper to the corner, and yeah, you can dance a little bit as well. You can see how much it means for the Oakland Roots. But then there's a lot to play for. It shows a bit of character, especially for a young substitute here. Abokora just comes in, really good interplay between him and Zane, and he wants it more than anyone else and just sticks to the back of the net. A really good goal for the young. First professional goal, congratulations. And you can see how much it means to him, how much it means to Loudoun, but just too little, too late on the day.
A look at the full-time stats brought to you by Puma. They have the possession advantage for Oakland. They get 8 shots and 4 on target with a 4-1 victory for the Roots tonight.
And it was just a class performance throughout. Minute 1 to minute 90 for the Oakland Roots and Coach Garrett. This is the 3 points they needed. Maybe the kickstart they got to keep on collecting 3 points for Loudoun. It was a tough road trip, obviously across country, but you have to be proud of the fight. Obviously, a substitute comes on, first professional score. That is a bright spot, and you know he's going to be full of confidence. Freeman, we see what he can do. And there's a lot to grow on for this Loudoun side. And it's going to be really exciting to see how they grow out throughout this 2022 USL Championship season.
Emra Clementa taking the time to go greet all of the fans down there in the stands. Now embracing with Juan Guerra as they celebrate their first victory of the season. It's always a party in Oakland, especially when the Roots come away with the victory. Here are the out-of-town scores brought to you by Visit Oakland. Get on the town and visit Oakland to explore arts, culture, and world-class cuisine. Here's a look around. Finished 1-1 between Orange County and Sacramento. 5-2 Louisville. 2-1 Galaxy over Monterey Bay. And Phoenix, New Mexico, you can still flip over and catch some of the end of that one. That's always a tense rivalry.
Always a tense rivalry, but really surprising. 5-2 Lou City taking down San Diego Loyal. Really good, talented squads there. Lou City coming out on top by a margin of 3 goals. Really surprising there. And Battle of Texas, El Paso, San Antonio 1-0. San Antonio just full of talent. Look for them as the season keeps on growing.
And that'll do it for us here tonight at Laney. A 4-1 victory for the Oakland Roots. It's their first victory of the season. On the other end, Loudoun, a 3rd straight loss after they began the season unbeaten in their first 3. Next up for Oakland, a trip to El Paso next Saturday. And Loudoun will try to rebound in their own right with a home game to get back on track. For my broadcast partner, Ricky Lopez-Espin, and the crew that makes this all possible, I am Joe Malva saying good night from Laney College. Oakland Roots 4, Loudoun United 1.
Telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.